Girls who took notes using 50 different colored pens. Where are you now? Am I allowed to answer if I'm a guy? Because I ended up becoming the Excel guy in my office. All of my spreadsheets are exquisitely color-coded. I work in IT. And yes, I still have all those colors and still use them all in my day planner. I paint for a living. So I switched from pens to paint. The gel pens were fun but impractical. I stick to basic ink colors because it's easier to read things with a strong contrast. But I have Sharpies in every color because doodling is fun. Certain law school prep guides teach you to take notes on court opinions using different colors. 90% of first-year law students show up with 4 different color highlighters. By the end of the last year, few still use them. In legal practice, I have developed color coding for notes of the cases I'm working on. I have not yet found a way to put a heart over the I in my filings. There's a PM at my company that does this. No idea how the hell she has the focus and time to take such detailed technicolor dream notes during meetings, but I've never had a problem with getting any relevant info from her. So _____Sue_/. Gotta respect note-taking game like that. I will never forget sitting in class and asking the girl sitting next to me for a pen. And she turns back to me with a straight face and says to me, "What color?" Edit, this, blew up. Thank you for the award. That marks my first, but hopefully not the last. I don't write much anymore, but I still use colored pens for my personal notes. The color depends on my mood. When I used to keep a meticulous fitness agenda, everything was color-coded. I'm a high school English teacher and there's a big correlation between note-taking skills and success in my classes. Color coding notes definitely helps. Bold of you to assume that's a girl-only thing. Unfortunately not allowed in the line of work I chose. So now I use 50 different colored post-it notes. Improvise. Adapt and overcome. I use different ink and highlighter colors to compensate for terrible ad. I work in a chemistry lab now. Sometimes I'll still use brightly colored pens to record my results for fun. But I don't ever switch between colors/color code anything anymore. All the different colored ink/highlighting help me remember my notes come exam time. So now that I'm out of college, I don't need to switch between colors. I low-key miss color coding and taking notes sometimes. Though. They migrated to /r/fountain pens and use 50 different inks with 100 different pens now. I'm one of those girls currently in college. I don't do it because I'm organized or anything. I just fucking love buying pens/markers and otherwise I can't pay attention to my notes. It's aesthetically appealing to me, which immensely helps encourage me to actually take notes. I had a friend who used to do that. One of the smartest people I knew. She is married now and has a kid and is a stay-at-home mom. I went from being in school to be a grade school art teacher to stay-at-home/homeschooling mom to now finishing up a graduate degree in computer science and have job lined up as a software developer. And yes, I still use all those colors, and Elf Lord in Vim because colors. And it's the easiest for me to read. I mostly write everything in purple now. But sometimes I use other colors and I like colorful post-it notes. I am working towards being a kindergarten teacher. This reminds me of a girl in one of my college classes. It would be inaccurate to say she took notes. She took transcripts. She would write down everything in class. Everything the teacher said. Every quote from the book that we read. Even every rabbit trail the class went down. She'd be taking meticulous notes, including asking students for their first and last names so she could attribute the quotes properly. Our midterm exam was a 10-page paper. She spent 30 hours on hers and got a 97%. I spent 2 hours on mine and got a 93%. I was much happier trading that 4% of my grade for 28 hours of my life. I have a few friends that do that. One of them is studying to be a doctor. Moved the colored pens to a tablet to easily switch colors. Another wants to become a sign language translator, keep forgetting the actual term. Edit, slow down. If you want a copy, message me. Edit 2, I'm sorry if I don't get to everyone. There's a lot you guys asking. Hope you understand. Have a nice day, smiley face. I color-coded my notes. I have OCD and it makes everything feel neater and easier to flick through. If you want, I'll give my system as I found it to be very useful. Maybe you will too. Oh. And I am currently unemployed but due to the recent birth of my son, James, I've been looking into jobs, smiley face, or an alternative way. I use black for titles and subtitles. As for me, the title isn't that important. The dates are written in a subtle color, because the focus should be on the stuff below. I'm not focusing on the title. More on the definitions, keywords, diagrams, instructions, etc. Blue is the most used, as that's usually what I use for simple stuff. Red is used for diagrams, definitions and instructions, and research shows that red helps with more detailed information than blue. Also, red is cool. I highlight keywords in pastel pink because it looks pretty with blue, and highlight in pastel orange because fire and shit. As for the summary, I write it in gray with a black border. It's a lot, but I mainly just focus on aesthetic more than anything. I actually do. I'm now a professional scientist and it makes my lab notebook pretty. Plus, frankly, often it's really helpful to have multiple colors. I also like having a bunch of colors for seminar speakers because it somehow keeps me more interested to choose a different color for a different speaker. Honestly though, the core reason is the main reason I enjoy multiple colors is because I often feel the secret to success against procrastination is negotiating with your inner 5-year-old. Okay. You need to write these notes. But if you do, you can choose what color to write them in. You might as well find a little happiness in the world where you can. Smiley face. A guy classmate of mine did this. One of the smartest in the class. His notes were fantastic. He's an engineer now and has a great family life from what I see on his FB. Cool guy. Jason, if you're reading this, you rock, my dude. I think they're teachers now. And yes, they still use all those colors. My wife did this when we were in school and she still loves using multicolored pens for everything she can. She even uses her own pretty colors for writing in the labels for things at work. You can always tell work that was done by her from everyone else's. A true ray of sunshine. Edit. I told my wife about all the upvotes on this comment and she is thrilled about all the attention, smiley face. Edit 2, 1:27 7 p.m. Thank you so much to both of the kind strangers who awarded this comment. Never thought it would blow up so much. The wife is happy, smiley face. I'm a medical lab technician. I took notes with a million different colored pens in college. Up until 2 years ago. I graduated at age 41. Just bought myself a nice new set of gel pens. Real talk, multiple colors really helped me categorize and compress complex ideas into things I could remember. It helped a lot in understanding the material and studying for tests. I work in an office setting now and do still like to use different colored pens for things, if the situation allows it. I don't know if this will make sense to anyone else, but I love colors. I especially like the idea of colors being associated with ideas, personalities, names or themes. Oh, today is Monday. I think orange is a good Monday color. Pink is Friday. Green is Wednesday. I love how Windows 10 allows me to change the colors of tiles so that my computer seems more like me. I am constantly changing the colors of my Apple Watch face. I don't know. I think I have a problem. ETA, the thoughts and discussions being shared here have been very interesting and eye-opening. Thanks for the silver as well. Smiley face. I do just want to add that I am fairly certain I do not have synesthesia. I know someone that does, and from my very limited knowledge of it, it isn't a voluntary association of colors like mine probably would be. I always automatically like to associate stuff with color or mood. But I don't know that it happens involuntarily. Think of what I do as more of what happens in the video game Persona 5, where each character has a color associated with them intentionally. I love that kind of stuff. I still color code based on class. Each class has a color. This color includes the folder color, the pen color, the sticky note color that the assignments are written on and placed in my planner on the date they are due. I also teach intro statistics to undergraduates, where I also color code parts of the equations and the values that get inserted to the equation. So the students can see where the numbers come from more easily. Asterisk edited to change kids to students. That was a poor word choice on my part. Apologies. My grade 9 science teacher forced us all to do it. He said that by color coding everything you understood the material better because you had to think about it longer to color code it and understand what other things it was associated with. Not just zone out and go into transcribing mode. He also made us do end of unit study guides. They had to be color coded. A set amount of drawings. And unit words and definitions. The drawings were doodles based on things in the unit. He would mark them and hand them back before the test, which was great because he knew if he needed to help us with something before we bombed the test. He was also a MMA fighter with cauliflower ears and not the type of guy you would expect to demand rainbow-colored notes. Edit, there's a lot of people asking for examples, so I'll make one up this afternoon. Thanks for watching.